Hello, Bulavanaka to everyone around the world. Bryce Lang reporting for the midweek show on PML Rugby Tipster. Tonight's show is just going to be just news and a preview of the rugby that's coming up on the weekend. And I must say it's a very important game as far as the Springboks are concerned because last weekend we lost the first test. And this weekend, however, we have to push now to push it into a decider. And when the referee blew the final whistle, it's exactly, I said we're going to have a possible rerun of 1997 here. We're going to have a possible rerun of 1997. So, guys, do you think, I'm talking to our friends up in Great Britain, England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales, do you think your British Lions have what it takes to beat the Springboks in Cape Town? As I said last week, had this test match been played on altitude, we would have won. Because opposition teams, they come to South Africa and they battle on altitude. But for a kicker, it's a kicker's dream. And one other thing I'd like to talk about is, will Jacques Ninaba and Rassie Erasmus stick to the same team that they put up last week, or maybe change the team around in pivotal positions like loose head prop? Some people may say that Oxenchair is not ready to play on some people say that maybe Oxenchair, the stage is too big for him, and they should have replaced him earlier with Steven Kurtzhoff, who is, I think, the same caliber as young Ox. So, guys, it only remains to be seen what's going to happen on the weekend. So, and another thing, I'd like to extend my big congratulations to the Fijian Sevens team. Guys, who can go and defend their gold medalist tag and come out unscathed at the end of the 3 days of sevens action that we've had? Goodness, Fiji, even though they put a few players who played for the 15-a-side team, like your Semi Randrandra and your Waisea Nayakalevu, guys, when your country needs you, your country needs you. So, to my Fijian friends, first of all, I'd like to say Mbola Vanaka, and guys, congratulations again. I can't wait for the 7th season to start. And as far as the rugby championship goes, there's a strong possibility that the tournament might not happen, as New South Wales is riddled with COVID right now. Sydney, Newcastle, etc. That's why today, as I was watching the Parramatta Eels Roosters game, sadly the Parramatta Eels lost that game. Both teams must have felt like, yes, how do we win when our fans are not here? When our fans are not here, whether it was in Parramatta or in Sydney, Central Sydney, where they were playing the game up in Queensland. So, guys, now the rugby championship, if it has to happen, as Australia play the All Blacks next week, who do you think would be better prepared for the test match next week? If you have an answer for that, you can tweet me at @BryceLang1. You can tweet me for that at @BryceLang1. And another thing I'd like to ask is, can Argentina beat the All Blacks again? Because the way they started the season was a bit of a shaky start, because they nearly got beaten in Bucharest by Romania, They drew a test match against Wales and they won comfortably in the second test against Wales, which is trademark Argentina. They're normally slow starters when the July tests are played. So do you think that Argentina can win a few games come the rugby championship, beating your whether you're All Blacks, your Springboks or Australia? Tweet me on @BryceLang with answers. I'd like to, if you want to have a word with me, you can visit my Twitter page on @BryceLang1, and we can discuss further. And Currie Cup rugby starts tomorrow. Currie Cup rugby starts tomorrow, round number 8. It's very tight, right through the log. There's no easy games. There's no easy games, as tomorrow's games have been juggled around because the Sharks were supposed to play the Griquas on Saturday. They will now play the Bulls on Friday because of their consecutive games against the British Lions. And Saturday's games go as follows. And another thing, people, I'd like to ask, what do you think of now the new concept of the Celtic League, now known as the United Rugby Championship? Teams have been broken into pools of the country that they are from. Like I saw I got to know this via Wikipedia. Like Scotland and Italy will be sharing a pool, whereas like if those teams have to play each other, I think it would be home and away. And then if they play against like your Irish, Welsh, and your South African teams, it would be a one-off encounter. So people, what are your thoughts? And another thing I'd like to talk about is, what do you think of the possibility of South African teams now playing in the European Championship tournaments? I just can't stop thinking about a possible meeting between the Blue Bulls and Toulouse. That will be a mouth-watering encounter, but it's possible that could only happen maybe next season. So people, if you wanna talk to me on that day, you can find me on @BryceLang1 on my Twitter page. That will do it for this midweek show, people. Enjoy the rugby this weekend. I'll catch you again on Sunday for next week's rugby. Thank you very much. Goodbye.